So, you're getting started with YouTube content. Here are 3 critical guidelines I wish somebody told me. 1, be consistent. 2, be vulnerable. 3, answer a question. Consistent creator growth can be neatly categorized in one or a combination of these 3 areas, regardless of niche, topic, value, or target. Consistency, authenticity, and answers. If it seems too simple, then watch the full video for more context on how to apply these strategies for success. All right, getting started with video content, 3 things to consider. Of course, the first one is consistency. You know, they say consistency trumps talent every single time.
And I'm talented.
Be consistent. There's some pushback on this tried and true creator tactic. Big name creators out there saying you don't necessarily need to be consistent, but it's clickbait, because if you go and watch those videos, they're still saying be consistent. They're just saying be your version of consistent.
Whatever do you mean, Mr. Bond?
I want to give you freedom as well. I'm just not going to give you the clickbait. You can be consistent in the way that you can be consistent.
Care to explain?
It means you got to know yourself, understand what scheduling and rhythms and workflows look like that work specifically for you. I have OCD. I am a serial procrastinator.
Amen.
And so batch recording works for me, ensuring that all the different things are done well ahead of time, making sure that I'm not creating the week of for that particular Sunday, because that's my release schedule. You want to find what that consistency, that formula, right? That up, down, left, right, A, B, start looks like for you. I know that Contra is old and I'm dating myself.
You know what I'm saying? Like back in my day, we really ran these streets.
There's so many people during the pandemic that blew up like a dynamite explosion with popularity, whether it be a podcast, live show, whatever it was. They started their content because they were in the pandemic and they didn't have time. And you know what happened to them? They fizzled, even though they were popular. Consistency is not dependent on popularity. They were popular and they still fizzled. Why? Because they only had time to be consistent when the pandemic was in place, when the lockdown was in place, when outside was closed. As soon as outside got back open, as soon as life came back to normal, you started to see them fall off a little bit. What used to be 2 times a week went down to 1, went down to every other week. Then you're starting to, forget that content was even there. We're talking about thousands, hundreds of thousands of views, downloads, subscribes, and they just let them go to waste.
What a shame.
They couldn't stay consistent. Consistency also is kind of a double, right? So you want to be consistent in how you deliver your content, but you want to be consistent in your topic. You want to be consistent in your value. You want to be consistent in your format.
Check.
There is freedom to be spontaneous and to do your own thing. You can be consistent in ensuring that you have fun. You can be consistent in ensuring that you throw a monkey wrench in, as long as you consistently throw a monkey wrench in. You can be consistent in gamifying your content, asking your audience members to look for certain letters that you place on screen as kind of an Easter egg. You can be consistent in your topic, your frequency, your value, your format, while ensuring that your quirks, your quibbles, your idiosyncrasies, all that stuff is still included in the content. You want to give people a window into who you are in your content in a consistent way.
You shine on.
That brings me to point number 2. To be vulnerable, which is a big word. It's a word that has different schools of thought around it, but essentially it means to be authentic. It means to be real, be relatable, allow people in to see who you are. That vulnerability piece, that's where your street credibility comes from. That's where people begin to associate you with a authority voice within your niche, within your topic, within your value proposition, within your area of expertise. When you let people in, they begin to see some of the things that they see in themselves in the mirror. People don't resonate with what's perfect. All right, this is not Hollywood, this is not Netflix, this is not Hulu. People resonate with what's real.
Honesty is the best policy.
Social content is still social content. Social content should still have some rough around the edges pieces to it. It should still not feel so polished and so touched and so edited, so perfect that people can't touch it, taste it, feel it, gain access to it. It's gotta have a sense of who you really are.
Who are you? Really?
One of the things that I often hear from people when I get a chance to meet them at different conferences and meetups and creator gatherings all over the country, I hear from them, man, I can't believe that you're really like this. This is who you really are. And that's what people resonate with. That's what hooks them. To be clear, you are the brand. Doesn't matter the niche, doesn't matter the topic, doesn't matter if you're doing how-to strategies, it doesn't matter if you're following entertainment and you're doing reaction content. People resonate, they resonate with you. You are the brand. Share with people, infuse into your content a healthy dose of who you are. Take people on the journey with you.
Let's go.
And then our last one, you got to answer a question. As I was learning public speaking in public speaker school, I took courses by Grant Baldwin. He's out of Nashville, Tennessee. I recognized that one of the things that I loved more than actually speaking was the question and answer session.
Next question.
I structured my presentations around Q&A so that I could get to the Q&A.
What on earth do you mean?
I wanted the questions because there's something magical that happened when those questions were thrown at me. I was able to formulate answers and come up with unique and interesting and innovative ways to respond to these questions on the spot that I would otherwise never be able to deliver. I would watch back my own recordings and say, wow, how did I come up with that? Where was that? I absolutely love the Q&A. The third point here is to answer a question. And then one of the things that I think we miss oftentimes is that, Google.com, it just has this little bar at the top with a blinking cursor, and you know what to do. I know what to do. There's no instructions there. You've got to give it a question. And when you give it a question, you get back results. And some of those results might be your video. And if your video is not structured around delivering on that value proposition, delivering on that verbal contract that was made when they typed in the question and your video popped up, if you don't deliver,
You're making a big mistake.
this is a huge mistake I see new content creators always make. The value proposition, that question, doesn't always have to be in the form of a transaction. Sometimes people's questions are around something that's entertaining to them. It could be around something where they're wanting to know a little bit more about a particular show or a particular artist or a particular celebrity. Whatever your content could be around, you're providing an answer to a question or a felt need in a way that could not be provided otherwise. Google, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, etc. all answer questions. Entertainment still answers questions. What happened with Diddy?
Now this is what the music industry is all about.
Is the royal family about to split?
Members of the royal family.
Who should I vote for this coming election?
Don't forget to vote.
It's still questions. Formulate your content around a question, even if you never say it, and you will experience great results. Here they are one more time. You want to make sure that you are consistent in your content. You want to make sure that you share who you are and allow people to take the journey with you by being vulnerable. And you want to make sure you follow the advice and the examples from all these huge platforms that we are putting content on by answering a question. And these will ensure that you don't make the same mistakes I did when I was getting started with content. Consistency, authenticity, and answers is the tried and true framework that I know works, but sometimes it gets hard to keep on track from one video to the next, to the next, to the next. So you know what? Here's 5 questions to ask before you create your next video. 5 of them, all right? Click right here to watch, and I'll see you over there. 5 questions to ask before you create your next video. Enjoy, fam.